Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel Binary Everest. This is the part 3 of our tutorial series Linux from Scratch Beginners to Advanced. In this video, we are going to explore few basic commands of Linux that are mostly related to file system exploration. So without any further ado, let's get started. So guys, we will be following through this note throughout this video, and at the end we'll also have a short quiz of 10 to 15 questions so that we can do the knowledge check and also reinforce the commands that we have learned. So guys, let's go to the terminal by pressing Ctrl Alt and T and start executing our command. Let me zoom it a little bit for you. Now the very first command that we are going to put is who am I. Now this is the command which will return the user logged in into the current shell session. So it is Aparijit here. You can also confirm it here, Aparijit at hostname. Now let me quickly talk about generic syntax for commands in Linux. So this is one of the way you will directly give the command and press enter to get the output. Otherwise, you also have an option to provide flags. So based on these flags, the command will behave differently. So if there are two options, it can be hyphen option 1 space hyphen option 2. For example, let us take ls command. I can directly give ls command, press enter to get the output. Or else, if I want to give some flag like ls-l, you will get different kind of output that which will be based on that command. Let me show with the multiple options, ls-l-a. Now the output will be somewhat different. So this is one of the way. Or else we also have one more option to combine all of these flags together within the single hyphen. So ls-ls, it is as same as ls-l-a-h. So this is much more convenient and is frequently used. Another option that we have is to give the full name of the option. Instead of giving the single a symbol, we can mention the complete name using double hyphen symbol. So the output is same as ls-a. Now let me talk about different ways using which we can take help in the terminal. It's not that we have to remember every single option associated with that command. For example, if you forgot what -a does in the ls command, or maybe want to know more about what are the different functionalities that this command provides, then you can simply provide --help command. And you can see here all the different options that are available for this command has been listed here. For example, -a or -all is used to do not ignore the entries starting with dot. I'll explain what this means later. And you can see here the different options that are available for this command, and the explanation has been listed here. So this is one of the way of taking help in terminal. And another option that is available to us is by using man command. Man followed by the command whose help we want to get. For example, ls. And you can see here this is much more comprehensive than -help command, and you can find all different things that are related to this command here in this manual. So using these two methods, we can get help from the terminal what that command does and what are the different options available with that command. You don't always have to remember all the options. Now let us talk about this command pwd, which is used for printing the current working directory. Let me show in the terminal itself. So if I give pwd here, I'll get the folder which I am inside currently, which is inside home, inside Aparijit. So pwd is used to print the current working directory. Next command we have here is ls, and it is the command which is used to enlist the files inside the current working directory. Currently we are inside this folder. So if I put ls command now, we'll see the files inside this folder. And these are the different files that are existing inside this folder. So this is what ls command does. It enlists the files and folder inside the current working directory. Now let me talk about ls command with different flags. First I'll talk about this -l flag, and this flag is used to show the output in a list format along with multiple informations about that file. So if you see here, the output is given as a list, and you can see different details like date of last modified, the owner of the file, and the permission associated with that file. I'll talk about all these details in the later part of the series. For now, let us just understand that -l flags will show the output in a list format. Now let me talk about -a flag. This flag is used to show the output including hidden files and folders. In Linux, hidden files and folders are prefixed with dot symbol. So if you see here, you can see the files and folders which are prefixed with dot symbol. And if you go and check the help for ls command, you will see it means do not ignore entries starting with dot, meaning that show the output including the hidden files. Another flag that I would like to show is the -s flag. But before that, let me show you the output of -l flag carefully. So if you see here, this column is for the size of the file, but this size is shown in bytes. So if you want to get the output in human readable form, you have to give the -h flag. But this is only helpful if you are giving the -l flag. So if you see here now, you can see it is 2.5 kilobytes, it is 12 kilobytes. So if we combine all the options that we have learned so far, which is -l, a and h, we'll get the output in long listing format, including the hidden files and folder, and this size will be shown in human readable form. Now let me talk about this cd command, and this command is used to change the current working directory. Currently our working directory is this: inside home, inside Aparijit. Now if I choose to go inside some of the folders inside this directory, then I'll have to give command like cd and the directory that we want to go inside. Let me go to this folder named apps, cd apps. Now if I do pwd, you will see that the current working directory has been changed. And now if I do ls, I'll see the files inside the apps, and these are the apps that I have currently installed in my system. Now let me talk about different use cases of cd command. The generic syntax is cd and path to the directory or folder. So for example, if I want to go to let's say usr bin, and you can see the working directory has been changed to usr bin. Now let me talk about different symbols that are used in terminal. For example, this dot symbol represents the current working directory, and double dot represents the parent working directory. For example, we are currently inside the bin folder, so double dot refers to the usr folder. And next, this tilde symbol represents the home directory. After that, the slash symbol represents the root of the directory tree, and the hyphen symbol shows the previous working directory. Now let me use these symbols. For example, if I do cd double dot, I'll go to the parent working directory. The single dot, that is the symbol for current working directory, doesn't look useful with cd command. This nautilus is the command for opening the GUI for the file explorer. So if I simply put nautilus, it will by default open in the user home directory. But if I give nautilus dot, it will open in the current working directory. You can see here we are inside usr. Next we have tilde symbol. So if we do cd tilde, you can see we are inside the home directory now. And next we have slash symbols. If I go to slash, you can see we are at the top of the hierarchy. Now let me talk about the hyphen symbol. Currently we are inside the root. By root I mean the top of the path hierarchy, and previously we are inside the home directory. So if we do cd hyphen, we will go to the previous working directory, which is the user home, and you can see it here. Now let me talk about this mkdir command, and this command is used to create the folder inside the current working directory. So let's go to the terminal and create one folder mkdir, and you have to give the folder name linux root. So you can, if you do ls command, you can find you can see the folder linux root has been created. Now let me go inside the folder using cd command, and if you do ls, you can see nothing is here. Let me create one more folder c1, and if you do ls now, you can see the c1 folder is here. We can even create multiple folders simultaneously by providing multiple names separated by space. So now if you do ls command, you can see all three folders have been created. Now let me talk about rmdir command as well. This command is used to delete the empty folders. So all the folders that you have created here is empty. So if I do rmdir c4, and you can see c4 has been deleted. And remember, it should be empty. If it is having some files, it won't delete. It will give some error. So let me delete c3 as well. And you can see here c3 has been deleted. Another syntax which is more common with mkdir command is with -p flag. So if I do mkdir and give the hierarchy like this, so basically I want to create x folder. Inside x there should be z folder, and inside z there should be y folder. We can do this by using -p flag. So if you do ls here, you can see x has been created. Now let me use this tree command, which will output the files in a tree like structure, and you can see here this x is the folder, and inside x there is z, and inside z there is y. So if I do rmdir command now and try to delete x, you can see here directory is not empty. So in this case, instead of rmdir command, we have to use rm command, and we have to use along with -r flag. That means remove recursively. And if you do x, you can see here the x folder along with its children has been deleted. So this rm command is used to remove the files, or it can also be used to remove the non-empty directories. We have seen this case in our previous example. For now, let us jump to next command, which is toss command, and is used to create file, and we will come back to rm command to delete the files. So let's go to the terminal. So currently we are inside the linux tut folder, and you can see here there is only one folder, c2 for now. And if I give touch file.txt, You can see file.txt has been created, and this is a file with no contents. So touch command is used to create empty files, and we also can create multiple files like by passing multiple file names here. So if you do ls, you can see here file2 and file3 has been created. Now in order to delete these files, we have to use rm command and pass the file name. So I want to delete file3.txt, and you can see here file3.txt has been deleted, and you can also delete multiple files at once. So file.txt, file2.txt. So this was all about touch and rm commands. Now let me talk about this clear command. This command is used to clear the output screen. Let's say you are having a lot of things in your terminal screen. So you're having lots of output and you want to make it clean. So you have to give the clear command, and you can see everything has gone. And there is another method for clearing your terminal screen, and which is by pressing Ctrl and L shortcut key. Let me show you. First, let me have some output in the terminal, and now I'm going to press Ctrl and L, and you can see here everything has been cleared. But this is different from the clear command. Clear command actually removes the output from the terminal, but this Ctrl and L shortcut just scrolls the view. You can see the scroll bar here. We can scroll it back, but in case of clear command, it will clear everything entirely. Now let us see about this echo command. This is just like print command in programming languages, and it is used for printing the output to the console. So echo, let's say hello world, and you can see hello world has been printed. It can also be used to display the value of variable. As you know, this bash is a scripting language, so we can declare variables like x is equal to 5 and print the variable using echo command. So if I do echo $x, we can see the value of x here, and we can even print the value of environment variables like path, and you can see the value of path is this. And there are other things like echo $cell, and you can see this bash is my current cell. You can also display the user home by printing the home variable, and you can see this is the output. Now let me talk about something called as terminal redirection, and this technique is used to either append or overwrite a file with the output of another command. Let's say the command echo hello gives the output as hello, and I want to keep the output as, and I want to keep this output by saving to some file, let's say file.txt. And if you see here, file.txt will be created, and this cat command is used to see the contents of a file. And if you use cat command, you can see the content of the file, which is hello, is being displayed. The single arrow represents overwrite, and double arrow represents append. It means if I do let's say some other content and overwrite file.txt and do cat command, you can see the content has been replaced with this some other content. But if I do let's say appending and use double arrow, this content will be appended to some other content. Oh, I'm sorry, I need to fix this. So it should be echo. So if you put cat command now, you can see the content has been appended. So this technique is called as terminal redirection and is used to modify a file by appending or overwriting it with the output of some other command. Now let me talk about this cat command. We have already seen one of its use case, and which is to view the contents of a file. So let's go and run the command again. So if I do cat file.txt, we'll see the content of that file. Another use case is to view the output of multiple files, that is to concatenate the contents of different files. So for that, let me create another separate file, content of file2, and name it as file2.txt. And if I do cat file2.txt, I'll see the output of file2.txt. But if I do cat file.txt and file2.txt, the output of both will be combined as a single file. So this is another use case. And the other use case is to use it like a simple text editor. So here we are actually using the technique of terminal redirection itself. So the syntax is cat, and I want to overwrite, let's say file.txt. So file.txt, and this is new content of file.txt. And in order to save, we have to press Ctrl and D. Now if we do cat file.txt, and you can see the modified content has been displayed, and we can also use it to append the content to the existing file. Let's keep something here, let's say modified, and press Ctrl and D. Now you can see the content has been appended. Now let us talk about the last command that we are going to see today, which is nano command, and it is rather a text editor supported in command line. So if you give nano command, you can open a text editor here in the terminal itself, and you can type your content here like whatever you want, And in order to save the file, you can press Ctrl and S, and you have to give the file name because we didn't open an existing file. So let's give something like new file.txt, and if you give the file name, it will be saved. Now in order to exit it, press Ctrl and X, and you can see here new file has been created, and if you view the content has been written. So this is the simple use case of nano, but of course there are lots of options. So you can see here there are different things like this queries means find, replace, cut, paste. You can explore it by your own. So with this we are going to wrap up the tutorial part. Now let us go to the knowledge check part, where we will be solving few MCQ questions related to what we have covered today. So let's begin the quiz now. The first question says, which command shows the full path of the current working directory? The first option cd is used to change the current working directory, and the second option pwd is indeed used to print the current working directory. So option B is the correct answer. Let's go to the next question, and it says, which command is used to list hidden files as well? ls-h does not stand for hidden, rather it stands for human readable form. It will show the size in human readable forms like kilobytes, megabytes and gigabytes. So it is not the right answer, as it doesn't mean hidden. And ls-r, I don't know what it does, so let's skip this for now. ls-a is used to enlist all the files including hidden files. So this is the correct answer. Now let's go to next question, and it says, what does cd space double dot do? Goes to root directory? No. For root we should have slash. Goes to home directory? For home directory we should have tilde. Goes to the previous working directory? No, it's not previous, rather it goes to one directory up. It will go to the parent directory. So option D is the correct answer. Now let's go to the fourth question. Which of the following creates an empty file? Nano file.txt. It will open a file if it is not created, but after opening the nano we have to save it again. So let's see if we have some better option. mkdir, no, it is for folders. And toss file.txt, and this is exactly the command which is used for creating empty file. So option C is the best answer. Now question 5 says, how do you remove an empty directory named test? rm-rf is for non-empty directory, so this is not the option. Delete is not a command, and yes, rmdir test is used to remove the empty directory named test. So let's go to the next question, which says, what symbol refers to the home directory? Slash refers to root, dot current working directory, double dot parent, and tilde represents home. So option D is correct. Question 6 says, which command opens a text editor directly in the terminal? Nano is the command for opening text editor directly in terminal. And question 7 says, what does echo data and redirect to file.txt do? It will output data to the file.txt and it will overwrite it. So option C, overwrite file.txt with data, is the correct answer. Now let's go to next question. Create a nested folder structure like dir1 inside dir2 inside dir3. So for this we need to have -p flag, as we have discussed earlier. So option C is the correct answer. Now let's go to the next question. Question number 9 says, append file interactively. And the first option, cat double arrow file.txt, is indeed used for that purpose. When we put that command, it will give us prompt so that we can give our input. After giving our input, we'll press enter and press Ctrl D, and the added content will be appended to the this file.txt. Toss is for creating empty file. Nano will open the file in nano editor, but this is not what this question is asking. Echo will directly append, but it's not interactive. So this is not the right answer. Now let's go to question number 10. Combine flags to show all files in long format with ls. So this is not the right option, and this option ls-l-a will give the output as mentioned in the question, but it is asking for combine flags. So option C is the correct answer. Now let's go to the next question, which says, what will cat file.txt do when you type input? Save input to file.txt overwrite. Yes, this is same as previous question. In previous question we had double arrow here, so in this case it will overwrite. So option A is the correct answer. Now let's go to next question. Quick guide for using mb without manual. For now we have not discussed about mb command, but if you want to know what mb command does, we have to use man mb. Oh, we have better option here in option D, mb-help. So this is much more faster than opening the manual itself. So I think option D is the correct answer. So this was the last question. Congratulations guys for completing the knowledge check. I leave one homework question for you. So this is the question, guys. You have to create a folder named practice. Inside it, create a file.txt using touch command, and use echo to add text to file.txt, and append more text using this double arrow. And next, view the content using cat, and edit it using nano. By you can either add new contents or remove some of them. So that you exit nano, come out of nano, go to parent directory and remove the directory including that file using rm-r command. So this will give you a good practice of what you have learned today. And this is the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much guys for being up to here, and I'll see you in the next one.